Hey everyone, Sawmill Charlie. I'm trying to get this thing set up for you all. Hope everybody's doing a good job or having a good time tonight. Back in business since my road trip. Hey Tom, Joseph, DNA, Dan, Jim. Go ahead and pop up the invite here. And it should be pinned. There it is. Hopefully everybody's doing well. And your bees are doing well. Hey, Mike. Randy. Here comes Mac. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Charlie. I'm out here out in my yard.
Yeah, I see that. So what can you show me?
I'm watching the new hive, the tree hive.
The tree hive. What do you got? A swarm?
Well, yeah, I cut it down for Coleraine Township that's north of me, and the tree company. And I did the cutting with their big chainsaws, 4-foot blades.
You cut the tree down or cut the limb or the branch or whatever?
Well, I cut above it, about 2 feet above it, and then I cut it from the ground. And then it was 3 trunks, so then I split it right down the middle. And I had to board it all up, the opening, because both sides were hollow.
Mm-hmm.
So I can turn my camera around.
Yeah.
But then
see what you can do.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do it on Stream Team.
Oh no, I got over in the chat. Peabody down in Southern Maryland had a horrible nectar flow. Well, you're not the only one. Looks like Tom kind of canceled himself there. We had a lousy one here too. Hey, David, and all that. Hey, Randy, Tar Heel, Sarah, and Mike, and all. But yeah, as far as the flow, here it comes. He's back.
I don't know. I hit more to see if I could flip the camera around on my phone.
Yeah,
and it took me away.
Knocked you out, that's for sure.
Yeah, but here's what I'm watching. Well, I can't see.
There's the bees. We can see them.
Yeah, and there's the tree trunk.
Oh, all right. You made it. Let me put this up on expand.
Yeah, he's got a super on it.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I got a super on it to build out frames. And then here's the bees. And here's all the crap they pulled out and down on the ground here.
All the chainsaw stuff.
Yeah. So they've been busy, doing good. Yeah. All right, I'm going back to it. So, yeah. Beautiful out. It's like 73 degrees out. Now I just need an adult drink. No. Yeah, you can flip it back.
All right, I was just writing down some.
I don't think I can.
Nope, there you go. You're back.
Yeah.
It's 88 here right now.
88. It's 72 degrees here.
Yeah, I think it's maybe 73, 74.
It feels like it's 92.
Yeah, it's still daylight and whatever. So it'll be daylight for at least half an hour or more.
Right.
So anyway, you actually took the trunk and then did you split it, open up to see, or you just kind of cut it off top and bottom and let it go at that?
Yeah, I cut it top and bottom, then down the middle, split the other tree trunk off, Then I put a board. I knew I was going to be doing that, so I brought 3 half-inch pieces of plywood, like 2x2 size,
Right.
and screwed it onto it. And then I put these new boards on it just to seal it up. But
Hmm.
all the comb is brand new white, so I couldn't do any cutout. I have to
Right.
wait till.
That'd be an interesting hive. See whether you can get it through the winter.
Yeah, I'm going to have to leave it this way till next spring, and then in April I'll cut it out because by then the comb should be hardened up.
Well, the
Right.
thing of it is, you got that super on top. They might move up for you.
Yeah, I don't know if they will or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a guy brought a log in here, like you say, and I boarded the ends up, but they still died. There just wasn't enough. It was in the
Yeah.
it was in the winter time, and it messed them up.
The good news is I got a 6-inch diameter by 5, where I can actually put Formic Pro strips laid on top of the frames to treat them. That's what I plan on doing.
Hey, Jarrett, good to hear from you. And
So I do plan to treat them. But you know what? They're a brand new swarm from like 3 weeks ago, so their mite count should be pretty low right now.
yeah, I would say something like that.
Yeah. I tell you what thing, this was the most gentle hive I've ever seen. I put my suit on, I cut the wedge out, and not one bee bothered me, and it was a pretty hot, it was an 85-degree day. So I took my suit off and I was able to do all the chainsawing, plus cutting up the tree trunk some, right next to it, and they never bothered me one bit.
Hmm.
It was kind of funny. I tapped the top of it, and that's the only time a couple bees flew out.
Right. Well, especially with that high pitched chainsaw sound, I would think that the vibration in the air would,
Yeah,
them-
they didn't bother me cutting their hive up one bit. So
cool.
this might be my new #1 hive next year if it makes it through winter.
Yeah, ADC. So, Jody, what's happening down south?
It's hot.
It's hot, huh?
It's hot. Yeah, I went on a little vacation last week, and when the day before I left, my tallow tassels was leaning like this, getting ready. Bees were all up in the tree, and when I come back, everything was washed out on the ground. So I hope we got a little bit of tallow out of it.
Yeah. Hey, Shane. Did you have a lot of wet weather down there that I think Lee or somebody was talking about?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Brad from Cajun Highs where the weather knocked the blooms off or something down there again.
Yeah. The whole time we were gone, it rained nearly every day.
Where did you head off to, if you mind?
We were in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Okay.
And we got back Saturday, and with the exception of today, it's rained every day since I've been back.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, last week I was in Birmingham, Alabama. Went down there with my friend Pam, and she had some relatives or some down there, some cousins. It showered down there Saturday. Friday was nice. Thursday and Friday was fine. Saturday it showered, but it kind of quit. And then Sunday was kind of overcast. It didn't really rain. Well, actually, when we were going up the interstate, it did. When we got up closer to, let's see, I forget what the darn name town is. Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, you was that far up?
Yeah, and it was raining up that way. And but anyway, I got back home and the weather finally kind of cleared here. My son cut the fields that are up behind me there in that picture there. They're all been cut. So I guess that's what I'll be doing the next 2 days. So and all that, but and I got into the bees here the last couple evenings, and the first evening I went through pretty much all the hives through there just to kind of check honey supers. Did I go down I-75? I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's see. If is it 75 that's out of Knoxville?
Yeah, 75 goes all the way down through Knoxville, then down through Florida.
Yeah, I did go down 75. Why, Jim? Are you close on your gym's up there in Ohio, right? Hamby? Close to you, Tom?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I went down I-75 and then hit 24 around Chattanooga and then down 50 something another.
59.
59 probably, yeah. Yeah, if you take 75 north and cut through right when you get across the river into Ohio, I'm about 15, 20 minutes west.
Yeah. 59, and then I got off at one of them exits and we went across country for about 40 miles over to Warrior, Alabama, which was north of Birmingham. Hey, Kim, and all that. But it was all right. I had more fun going down and coming back. You stop, and we finally got to a Buc-ee's and seen what all the hype about that was. And then I stopped at a bee supply house in Virginia, and I don't know, we stayed there for about an hour and a half, and he had a big, long 15-inch hive tool. And I was going to buy it, and I forgot about it. And then I came up, he was just wondering. And darn it, the guy, I called him up Wednesday when he was back in the business, and darn if he didn't send me that tool on up here. I offered to pay him, but he said, "No, I'll give it to you." He's also out there at at Kentucky Expo this year. He sells those plastic hives. They're kind of yellow looking, and I can't remember what the darn names of them are.
The Pro Nukes?
No, these are regular beehives, but they're insulated. They're not licensed.
Oh.
They're not Apame. They're
Hive IQ?
Huh?
Hive IQ?
No, it's the other one. Vector or Ebeka or anyway, he sells those plus woodenware and all that other stuff. But I wanted a big hive tool for leverage when I'm popping a super that's got 3 supers above, for my hive lifter. Sometimes it gets a little hard trying to get it in there to pop.
Right.
But anyway, I went through them. I got back, and then the next day, I guess it was, I went through my checking supers, and some hives, I had 2 hives there, like on the end down there, that they really weren't utilizing the top supers. But then I had a couple of them that had 1 super on there, and they were starting to build wax and honey on top of the frames. So I said, all right, well, let's take them off of those hives and put them on this hive, and let's see if. And now I think it might be Ray and Nell. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. And now hives. And so I did that. And then I found one of my hives that I had put a virgin in. She had gotten mated and was, popping up larvae and stuff like that all over. It looked like to me she needed a little space. So I went ahead, and it was a medium super or a brood chamber. So I went ahead and a neo. I think that's what it is, Wes. And so I, gave him I checkerboarded some brood from comb into that. And then last night I got out there and I went through those 5 double deep highs that I had demaried, and I had swapped brood around. But I could tell that, hey, Sandy. I could tell that seemed like to me that, I could have went for another week before that brood was ready to really pull up into the top box. And I mean, she's laying, but I think she's slowing down a little bit, getting close to the summer solstice. So, eh, you know,
Have either one of y'all had any hives that just almost refuse to draw out wax?
um, no, I mean, my problem having is it now is pretty much the flow's over with
Yeah.
completely almost, I, I don't know. I mean, I've got some of them, them double deeps. I had enough drawn comb for the bottom box for the brood chamber. And then I had my supers, and then I had my top box I put on there. A lot of it has just foundation, which they're drawing some of the wax out. And I'm hoping that they'll be able to draw that wax out. Spotter and lanternfly ought to be starting in about at least a month and a half from now, about 6 weeks at least. And hopefully that'll want them to draw that wax out. And I think I might dig up some drawn comb. Hopefully they'll be able to, and I'll just have to feed them.
I might have some of that spotted lanternfly this year, especially in my area. I've never seen one though.
Oh, they're like the what is it? The ones the other bugs that are out, cicadas.
Okay.
Hey,
JW.
They're about the size of a little bit bigger than that, and they're very pretty looking and all that. Hey, James, and all that. And what they do is they suck the nectar, I'll say, out of the trees and stuff. And then they excrete basically sugar water out on the leaves and whatever. And the bees will just grab it big time.
Gotcha.
And they'll make you a super honey in the fall. And for me, that's pretty decent because I don't really have a fall flow at all. And
Right.
so that saved me about 500 pounds of sugar, and that I didn't have to order. I left it on there. Now you can draw or extract it, and it's got a unique taste to it. Kind of some people call it a smoky taste. I don't know. Kind of remind me of kind of like tallow. Tallow's got a little twangy taste to it.
That'd be a good backfill for the fall time, for winter time.
Well, that's what I do. I just let them have it, and
Right.
then I put top high feeders on, and 10 framers will probably drop another 6 gallon of fluid in them, and then they're set for winter. So JW, what's happening out there? And let's see, Wisconsin, no, Missouri, right?
Almost awful close, Illinois,
Illinois.
right next door. I've been in bees all day, Charlie. Since last night, that's all I've done is dream about bees and work on them. I had a little run in with a little E. coli bug, so I was out of sorts for a few days. And
A run in with what?
E. coli.
Oh, E. coli.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What'd you do? Eat some bad hamburger?
Who knows? I don't know where it come from actually, but I got something that went awry. It set me. I was in ICU for a couple of days. Really, really sick. About as sick as I've ever been in my 80 years. They got me back able to walk anyway. I'm doing IVs every day.
Really?
Got a shut in my arm.
Hey, Darren. Good to see you.
I got one of my sons to help me today, and we went through one of my yards. And completely, and we did a lot of bee work today, and I'm so tired I can barely able to talk.
Yeah, I'm on the stream.
I was wondering whether it got dark out there.
Now I'm walking inside. I'm going to hop off and get on my computer.
Okay.
So I have to power it up and all that.
Hey, Darren. Yeah, Darren, I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, a spider and lanternfly, where it comes from, well, I mean, you're also eating honey barf, I mean, if you think about it, so I don't know. It is what it is. I just like to say when it comes to spider lanternfly honey, I leave it on the hive and it saves me any feeding during, let's say, the dearth, which is July and August here, and all that.
JW just walked off in the distance like an old thriller movie or something.
Mm-hmm. Here he comes.
I had to let my dog in.
Yeah, we can hear him bark. So you were in the hospital, JW?
Yes, sir. I was for a week.
For a week.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. How did you figure out that it was E. coli?
They figured it out for me. I tell you what, I went completely down. I mean,
Oh, really?
completely
Did they
down.
call the ambulance?
So, they hauled me to the emergency
ER?
room, and they sent me home first, and I was home about 8 hours, and back I went. I was worse the second go around after they sent me home. I thought it was just a urinary tract infection and give me some antibiotics and sent me home, but I didn't stay home long.
Right.
I was right back over and they stuck me in the ICU. I was so sick I didn't know I was in ICU till the second day.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, it sounded like to me somebody didn't do a thorough testing, I'll say. So
well, it takes they tell me on your blood or urine cultures that they take to find out that it takes 3 days for that to hatch out or whatever you want to call it for the culture where they can tell if it's E. coli.
so they can tell, Sandy says hi there. Hope that you're feeling better, JW.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm feeling quite a bit better. I'm just weaker than a cat. I can ride a lawnmower or something like that where I don't have to move. I get out and have to lift on a Hive box or something. I just, heck, the week before that, I had hernia surgery. I had an umbilical hernia, and I just got out of the hospital and straightened up, and then I went down with this E. coli. So.
Now, Tom, I'm looking at your pictures in the back area. It looks like you got 3 nukes with double deeps or 10 framers on top of them. Is that what I'm looking at?
No, there's 6 frames.
And what do you got? 3 6s and then you got 2 10s on top?
Yep.
What did you do? Hey, Stone
that.
River. What did you do? Make them?
Yeah, I made them. And each one of those 6 has a queen in them.
And then what, they share the upper storage?
Yep.
Well, you got excluders
Pretty good.
above the queens, and then share.
So what,
I
you got queen excluders?
Yeah. So
That's basically like Ian and them guys have up there. The same.
yeah, that's what I got it
same
from
concept.
Brad and James and Ian. There's only one caveat is that if one of the queens dies, there's still enough pheromone between the other 2 that they don't realize they have a dead queen.
Well, I think also Brad and them guys were talking about a lot of times that center hive, like you say, if it's a dead queen or it dies out or something, there's always a problem right in there somehow.
Well, you don't know about it.
Yeah.
Because there's still bees flying in and out.
Right.
From the other 2 boxes.
So Joseph, how's your bees doing?
I guess they're okay. I've only been in 3 hives since I've been back home.
That's right, because it rained a week for you.
Yeah.
Have you been getting some of those hurricanes and all that kind of stuff down there, or tornadoes or whatever?
Yeah, they had tornado warning last night or night before, just a few minutes after dark.
Mm-hmm.
It came
But
right by
anything
here. I
else?
don't know who it hit, but it came right by here.
Yeah, there was one I watched on Facebook here in Maryland. I'm going to say it over towards Washington D.C. suburbs area, I believe. And there was a guy, doing a video off of his camera, and it was like a party or something like that, and they were in it kind of like a window area, like a where you could look out across the land and you could see the funnel cloud, which is that for us is hey there, Brian. That's kind of unusual for us to see anything like that. Sandy says she likes your short, Joey.
Yeah, I
She
was
did
reading
earlier.
that. Thank you. I don't know if any of y'all saw it. But
I
it was,
didn't get to see it yet. I've been busy
I was-
working and
I
stuff.
was showing how watery cap tallow
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
watched that too.
meaning that it's got a high moisture content.
Yeah.
Hey,
real
Carl.
clean.
Hey, Joey, have you ever measured it?
No, I should have done it then, but I didn't. I thought about it about 2 hours too late.
I understand.
Brian's
But
packing up for the
all of
big
it's
one.
not like that. Sometimes it'll be thicker than that, but they will cap it real runny like that.
So do you, I mean, like I have that situation where it's like over 18.5%. Hey, Nancy, do you dehydrate it through, like I put up
Yeah.
in confined space, put a fan on it and put a dehumidifier in there and suck the
Yeah.
moisture out that way. Usually
I-
about 4 days and it's down 17%, something like
Yeah,
that.
I'll stack them up and throw a fan on top, turn my air conditioner and heater on. Leave it
Yeah.
in
Now,
there.
Sandy wants to know that's mimosa honey. That's the tree that's got that pinkish flower in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask Bob Walker about that. That was one thing I noticed going down into Alabama, that the mimosa tree, it seems to be scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, and where I told
They-
Bob, I said, we had one up here in the corner of the house, which was planted, by my grandmother, I think. And it's more of an ornament. We always called it an ornamental tree. And, it split and whatever. And we finally cut the thing down. And, all right, Carl.
They disappeared from here for a long time, and then now they're coming back.
The birthday
Joey,
boy.
about that tallow honey, our black locust tree is clear and it's runny, but if you test it, it'll test 16, 17%.
Yeah, that's
Really?
about right. That's what we get.
A light runny honey.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
Nancy. Bob said he might not make it in tonight because they were going to go out to dinner or something.
So I bet you that tallow that was capped is still under 18%.
I like it 17.5. I don't really like it at 18. I'm a little bit concerned at that. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, 18
It
is
actually
my max.
tasted good.
What's that?
I said it actually tasted good. That's how I found out it was runny. I pulled that out and I was eating it.
Huh.
I guess don't do the shake test with that stuff.
Tom, you need to turn your volume up just a hair.
Yep. How's that?
A little bit more than that. What do you got?
Better?
Electron? Huh? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. How's that? Let me
Pretty
check
good.
the speaker.
Check. Knock it up a hair a bit more.
Check.
Keep
Let
on
me go to
going.
this one.
I'm hearing him good. I don't know what's happening.
This one.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
That's
That should be a lot better.
okay. So anyway, you got runny honey down there and tallow stuff and all. But
I just hope they got a bunch of it. I don't care how runny it is.
yeah, I know. It's just like myself. I went out there and I did check some. I had supers on nukes and supers on my 10 framers, and I checked a couple nukes, and they definitely had some stuff already capped, which I was happy to see that. And I figure by the 15th of the month I'll be done. I'll be pulling stuff off. I haven't set up my extraction line yet, which is the back porch with a 18 frame extractor and a tank and all that stuff. But I want to get.
Right now in my area, we probably got our best flow of the year going on right now.
Oh, really? What do you got coming in?
You got basswood trees blooming. Gray dogwood trees are still blooming. All the milkweeds blooming. All the thistles blooming. American honeysuckles blooming.
Yeah, but now the regular honeysuckle that I know of, bees don't go down in there to get that, do they?
The American, which is a viney honeysuckle, they hit big time.
Okay.
What else is blooming? There's a lot blooming, a lot of flower type plants blooming right now.
They hit you
we got
down.
elderberry, persimmon, and hazelnut.
Persimmon's blooming. Yep.
Yeah, Brian says
Clover,
Alpha.
Linden.
I'm about
Clover,
like Tom. I'd say we're dead center in our flow right now. I'd say we got another 2 weeks maybe.
yeah, 2 or 3 more weeks.
That's why I'm not doing anything yet. I mean, I'm letting them fly and do whatever they want to do.
I actually
I
had
think at the end of the month,
my hives today.
Russell wants to know about Dutch clover. Now, for here, I can tell you right now, the Dutch clover, most of the time, the only thing you see on them is bumblebees. And usually that's a early mid-morning, and then by 11 o'clock, if it's really hot, it just burns the nectar right off and it's done. And all.
They're working my Dutch clover. I've got this little patch right around my honey house. I've just got a little old pollinator, yard around my honey house, and it's full of clover or Dutch clover. And you don't want to walk that barefoot of a morning. I can tell you, you'll come out there with some stung up feet.
I got 2 acres of clover because I threw clover in all my yard.
I've got a bunch of them. I just around, but I'm not saying it's their favorite. It's their favorite thing to work, but they'll work it pretty stoutly in our area. Sumac's pretty strong. It's coming on. Milkweed's full bloom here. We got plenty of pollen sources and nectar sources right now, I think.
I should take a video of the milkweed. They really like the milkweed.
Yeah.
There'll be 3 or 4, 5 bees on every plant, on every flower.
Well, where is anybody letting that grow?
It grows in
all over my yard. And Newman Golf Course, which is a golf ball hit away, has acres of it.
Yeah, Brian, no, Bob's not on tonight. He said he might be going out to dinner celebrating.
It's a tuber that spreads, Charlie. That milkweed is a tuber that actually spreads and comes up the stalks, individual stalks, and all your roadsides around my area and anything that's left, I call it going back to the indents, kind of left naturally, you'll have milkweed come up in it. I actually planted some in my little pollinator yard. It's swamp. There's a swamp milkweed.
I see some of it up here on my bank up here where I don't mow.
Yeah.
But I don't know, around here, they either spray it, they're either spraying or mowing or doing something.
Yeah.
They don't let anything, go fallow. Hey there, Brian. And all that. So I don't know. It just Mike, I was like, Lee's on here tonight. How old is Bob? I don't know how old he's turning. 50 something.
No
Yeah.
idea. He's a young pup. I know that.
I don't know.
3 or 4.
Yeah, so I know my bees have been working hard the past week since the rain stopped.
You know, them three I had, cause I thought it was kind of unusual for pretty much a full flow. I had little nuke and one as kind of a weak 10 frame hive. They robbed out while I was in the hospital. I had dead bees all over the place, you know, at the base of the entrance. Hmm.
Nancy
When we got
says,
rain, when it rained like 7 or 14 of the 11 of the 14 days, I think we did have a little dirt there.
Yeah.
Nancy says he's
93.
51, but Brian from Castle High says he's 93.
I'll go with a 93, Brian. Hey, I pulled out my shotgun today, Brian, and I got 12 of those dragonflies.
Gregor?
Got out the old 12 gauge and knocked them right out of the air.
That's a good deal. Bird shot.
Well,
Yeah.
double
Brian,
up buck. I got big ones.
Flower Street's, he's not going to buy any more supers. He's 54, 1970. Oh, hell.
He
Born
turns
late.
50. Turned 50 today.
Hmm.
54.
Oh, I hope I live that long.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I was going to grab a drink, but I spent more time outside. But just watch. I just love watching the bees going in and out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a little stool by some mine in the backyard. I just sit there and watch them sometimes.
Yeah, and that the tree one's still bringing out a lot of little pieces. Every other bee's bringing something out.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
like I
think
say, mine, I don't know. I just went out there and they were flying. They seem, one thing I've always noticed is that if it's a real hot day, they'll stay inside during the middle of the day and then they'll come out around 3 or 4 o'clock and go gather stuff, I guess.
Yeah, we haven't had any hot weather yet. Joey's been keeping all the hot weather down there.
man, it's
No,
hot.
he don't have a corner of it. We've had a couple 90s up here even.
We had 1 week got warm, but now it's back in the 70s.
Stick that old beef jacket on and get out there and there's no breeze. It warms up pretty quickly, I can tell you that.
I used to work in that heat every day when I was younger. I mean, that was just my job. That's what I had to do. Now I can't hardly take it.
Yeah.
I just can't take it like I used to. There was a time when it'd be 99 degrees and the humidity would be about 90. Just sweat down and eat salt tablets and drink water, you know.
Yeah, you couldn't drink enough.
I can't do it no more.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Well, I never did want to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I used to tell them when I worked at that prison. I worked there 27 years. And
That's how long you're in for, huh?
yeah, 27 years, 2 months, and 3 days. But they used to ask me, how I put up with some of the aggravation I had to put up with at that job. It's all the bureaucracy you had to deal with and everything with the state. And I told them, I said, well, when I get upset, I just sit down and think about them old hot paper mills, working all that old greasy dust and that liquor spraying everywhere and sweating to death, crawling through them old pipe racks. I said, it don't take me about 30 seconds of that to get over it.
Yeah.
You say you made paper and paper mills?
I worked Well, I was a traveling construction electrician before I went to work at the prison. I worked paper mills, coal burners, hospitals, stores, just anything that they were building, construction
Okay.
electrician. But I hated paper mills. I'd rather work in a coal burner than I would a paper mill.
And that's running electricity or whatever.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about all that. Let's talk about bees again.
Yeah.
So you say, JW, you said you've been in your hives and stuff. What did you find? Anything?
Oh, I, I had some good ones and I had some strong ones, Charlie. I mean, some weak ones. I added some and a couple of three I tore down. 4 or 5 nukes I transferred into 8 frames. Give them some more room. I did a little bit of everything. My middle son, I've got 3 growing sons, and this is the first time he's ever helped me. I've been down one of them, and yeah, I think I might have made a beef guy out of it. He seemed to kind of enjoy it, so hopefully he'll follow through a little bit more. So we had a good day.
How did you pull that off? I got 3 boys that are all grown up, and I get 0 help.
Well, you talk about Bob Bear. All 3 of mine's older than Bob Walker, so figure that out. They're all in their mid to late 50s. So, but they did volunteer to come and help the old man because I'm pretty weak. So, and I've got another yard. I think I'm going to go through. He said he'd come back tomorrow. We're going to go through another yard tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah, he's bit.
Yeah.
If he's still wanting to do it after today, he's bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I went through mine and I had one hive out there that I had pulled up some frames above the hive and they had made swarms. I don't know, must have forgot about them or something. Anyway, they made swarm cells and I found 3 virgins here a week or so. I guess it's been a couple weeks now. And 2 of them where I put them in one of them was a 10 framer and one of them was and 2 of them were in nukes. The one nuke took off, the 10 framer took off, but one of the other nukes at the other end of the area, she didn't do nothing. There's just definitely laying worker, or not a laying worker, but a queenless hive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know. I don't know why it's fuzzy. Maybe it'll get focused on me.
Yeah, I did 3 nukes a month ago, so the queens would have been flying when we had all that rain every day, and all 0 for 3. None of them made it back.
Mm.
And I know 2 of the 3 actually. I saw the virgin queen.
I've had good luck getting my I let a lot of my splits make their own queens this year, and I did put in some, but about half of my, I think I had 9, and every one of them, seemed to make. And I've got queens in every one of those. So.
And then I had another nuke there that was queenless, and it was because of me, because I think what I did was I moved the queen mistakenly from one to another one, because I was equalizing. And so I seen it was queenless, and I found me a nice frame of eggs and really young brood, but mostly, a big patch of eggs. And I just laid that right in there. And it had good population and everything. And I said, all right, I'll see you in X amount of weeks, And I went back, I think it was a couple of days ago. I think I went in there and I pulled up a frame and I went out, in the sun area. And I seen, eggs and young, milk brood larvae. And I said, all right, that's all I need to see. Put it back in there and close the hive right back up and all that stuff. And Matt's got a question here. If you put a frame of eggs into a laying worker, will they make a queen cells? Most likely not. The best thing, Matt, is to take that hive and shake it out into the grass away from your other hives, because basically their mindset is the fact that they do have a queen. You can put a queen cell in there and they'll tear it down.
That's
And you
correct.
can put a mated queen in there and they'll attack her
Kill
and kill her as a foreign queen.
That's what my video
Been
is.
down
in the
that
morning.
road multiple different ways to try to fix that problem. And the best way to do it is just shake them out in the damn.
I got a video coming out in the morning on that.
Really?
There you
All right, Joe or Jason. There's Joey's got a video. What do you
Shake
say
'em out.
about it? Is that a spoiler alert or what?
No, dump them out and take your equipment, put it somewhere else.
go. Shake
That's
'em
right.
out and then
Dump
put
them
the
out in the
eggs
damn
in.
grass like I took them
Yeah.
across the yard there where the hives are, over to the hayfield, threw them in the, dumped them out in the grass over there, and then pick that hive up and walk and put it someplace else so they can't go back to it.
I'm
Those
not
bees
saying
are,
you can't fix it, but the aggravation you go through, it's easier just take your equipment and give it to somebody else and
Yeah.
let them go with it.
I've tried to fix it over the years, like I say, queen cell, queen. I put it really hurts when you bought a queen and put in there and they'll kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's three or four frames of bees left in that laying worker, I would dump them, put that hive right back where it came from, and then within an hour you could put eggs in there and they'll make cells, because that queen will not be in there. That laying worker queen will not be in there anymore.
Yeah, but it ain't just one bee. It's
Yeah. You may
hundreds
have
of
10.
bees.
You know, all the bees that were laying will not make it back. Only the ones that've been flying. Because they don't
All
know
right,
where
now
that, they don't know
Sandy
where that
said,
hive is.
yeah,
Just like a
I
queen.
mean, this
Here-
might be
here's-
just,
Here's my thought on it. Once you go broodless that long enough for them to go laying worker, it's what have you done if you do get them to, start making another queen? You're already at least 3 weeks behind now. And then
Yeah,
if they're gonna make another queen, that's gonna put you another 3 weeks behind. So just
Right.
take your equipment and I ain't saying you can't do it. I've done it, but
yeah, I've done it too.
I
that
found
way.
it's just easier just to shake them out and take your equipment.
now
freeze it,
Sandy,
yeah.
Icy Mountain, she said she just took a resource hive or a nuke and dropped it in.
Yeah,
know.
you can do that. You can do
Do
that.
that too.
I'm wondering whether those other bees that are laying workers, would they attack the queen, or is there enough bees in that nuke to protect the queen?
The nuke will protect the queen.
Peabody says use new paper over a strong hive. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't
Smoke
know.
I had a
Smoke 'em
hive that
down.
needed a frame of bees, so I left them one frame right where the hive was. And when they all went on that frame, I put it in the other hive.
Well, I think a lot of that depends on fellows how long you've been at this game. When you're short on numbers, you have a tendency to try to work with those laying workers and make something out of them. But if you got plenty of bees, I agree with Joey 100%. Shake them
Yeah.
dudes out and go on.
It does. I mean, I agree with you there, JW. I mean, in that scenario, that definitely is why, I know that Matt there doesn't have a lot of
Just starting,
hives.
yeah,
He's starting
Right.
out and he's trying to do the,
sure.
I don't know what else to tell you is, like
The
I say,
hives next door are gonna get a lot stronger.
Yep.
so
Hey, we're resting on the conversation a little bit. I'll tell you a little story on myself. I did 2 splits, and I put a queen in one split, and I'm going to let the other make their own hive or make their own queen. Went in there to check them, and I seen queen cells. I opened it up, and this queen was almost mature. And I got to looking. Guess what? I switched. I reversed the 2 hives. I killed the queen on the one that I wanted to make her own queen, and I was in the wrong hive. That's what happens when you get really, really smart when you get older.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Can't believe I just did that.
what's that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I, since I got 25 hives in a row, I'll work one on one end and work one on the other end. So I'm not bothering them. And I'll go back. I go right back to the hive I just
Already
worked
been
on
in.
the other end. I said, "Whoa, why am I
Yeah,
not working?"
I got those little what's it called, extreme post-it notes, and I gotta put that post-it note right on her as soon as I close it up and say what I did. And usually, and they got multicolor, so I know it's it might be a green one or a yellow. I'll go through the yellows and then I'll come back with greens, and keeps me halfway
That,
straight.
that still doesn't always work, Charlie. Because
No, it
I
doesn't.
write on mine too. And it's like, oh shit, I already wrote on this
Yeah.
one. We're not
Yeah,
halfway through it.
yeah, like you say, when you get
When
28 to 30 of them.
when I had
Yeah.
10 hives, I used to be able to tell you what I did in every one of them the next day. But
Yeah.
when I got the front hive number 11, I don't know. It just kind of glitched. I can't even remember what I just did now.
Yeah.
That's
Then
because you ran out of fingers.
Yeah,
You
that's it.
ran out of fingers like me.
when you have 40 of them, you go, oh, well, last time I checked them, they had a queen.
Yeah, it's something, and I always asked uh, commercial guys, how do you manage that amount? And they'll say, well, you only do one thing at one at a time or whatever. I get that, but it's like I don't think they I don't think they can look at and treat as an individual hives. You know what I'm saying?
No, they look at per yard.
You know,
They'll flip that
Yeah,
lid upside down too, and that lets them know they got to come back and do something before they leave.
Yeah.
yeah.
Brian says right on each lid at the end of each yard, transfer notes to the B Plus app.
Buy a queen right dial.
There you go.
Just leave them
But then you
alone.
got to use it.
Yeah, but that
I'm
doesn't
an
tell
old
you.
school
That
brick
doesn't
guy
tell you.
still. I still use the bricks.
Me too.
Yeah, I use the brick too.
I do that in a situation where I have a problem with that hive. I have these like 3x3 cement blocks, that I bought for holding lids down, and I had
Yeah.
broken them over the time. I'll drop them and they break in half. So I got a small little square, and I'll put that up
Hey,
on
Philip.
top of that hive, and that signals me in that that's got a problem. And then I'll go right to there and read my notes and stuff.
I still use the bricks, and I stand them up if I got a problem. And
Yep.
on this video that's coming out tomorrow, I got 2 hives together with a brick on each one of them, and I don't remember which one. The whole thing was about a laying worker, and I should have probably elaborated this in the video somewhere. But when I come back home and my wife watched it, she said, "I stood that brick up. You told me to." I said it looked like it was getting weak, and you said stand the brick up. So that, that's the last time I even thought about it. So
Well, I keep if my brick's in line with the long way of the box, I know it's had a queen in it. If it's perpendicular, it's in a stage of getting a mated queen.
Mhm.
So it's got cells or a virgin in it. And if it's standing up, that means it's laying worker or dead hive out or not enough bees in it.
yeah,
It's a useless hive for me.
yeah, standing up, it could be anything. It just means I need to come back
Yeah.
and look at it.
That's the
Yeah,
way I operate too.
I use
It
that, like
has
you
been
say, as a
cropping up me. I knowed it the whole time, Tom.
yeah.
In my
Like I
pattern.
say, I stand them up for a marker. That I got
Yeah.
to go to that hive and see what's going on. If I can't, and normally I can remember what the
Well,
problem is.
if
You
it's
see
standing
what
up for
Keith
me, it's not even
what Keith
worthwhile going
said?
in anymore.
Keith
Yeah.
says, kind of like leaving yourself a note. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't forget what, Keith? Hey.
I just put one standing up today.
Hmm.
It was one that
Uh-oh.
had a pretty small queen in it, and she did, she died, or there was no queen in there anymore.
Huh.
So I dumped the bees out, closed up the box, and they'll go in some other hive.
I think didn't you watch Ian's latest Formic Pro video? I think you commented, didn't you, Tom? On
Yeah,
ventilation, on the on taking out the entrance reducer or setting the hive, or you gave him a link and everything and all that stuff.
yeah, I don't remember details.
Yeah, uh yeah,
I
I
used
commented a little bit there, about what, he was talking about one strip versus two strip. And I
yeah,
had Sammy Ramsey come into my club a couple of times, and he had made mention of that point prior to this last meeting he came into. And if you want really good under the capping mite kills,
you gotta do one.
you want the two strip method in there.
Yeah, two strip step one, I think it is. Well, I'm going, except for my tree, I'm going 100% with my new method, do or die. Then I'll be able to come
Do
up with
what
the
now,
result.
Tom?
Hopefully for Nabi.
What are you going to do?
I've been treating some of my hives, my new process.
Yeah, you were telling us about that in Nabi.
Now
Yeah,
I'm going 100% this year. I built up enough of them to test at least 30 of my hives.
right.
So that'll be the biggest test I've done so far.
Well, where are you with that product? I mean, I know that you were talking with Peck and all that stuff. Are they going to do anything for you, or?
Next year, this year I'm doing all the data, doing pretty close. I wouldn't call it lab type level, but I'm documenting every step of the process. How much material I'm putting in each package, what the ratio of my recipe is, etc. And that's what I'm
Right.
working out right now, is how much quantity I need to put in the hive to get what I
So
need to
you're going to
achieve.
basically, here's the documentation and spark a greater interest in what you're
Right.
doing.
And then they'll take it and run with that and probably go plus or minus 10% or some number and test a whole slab of hives
Right.
using the same procedure. That'll be that for them next year.
And you're going to get it, what do you call it? Copyrighted or
Patent.
patent or whatever.
Yeah, I'm working on that too right now.
Hey, Pastor Larry.
But it's
That's,
kind of hard when you got 40 hives and you work full time.
I thought you were retiring.
I am, but I'm not there yet. Next year I'll have a lot more time.
Right.
That's what I thought when I
I know.
retired. I thought I'd have good time. I don't know what
Well,
happened.
I'm not getting any more hives. Where I'm at right now is my final
You're what, at 30, you say?
40.
40?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Plus or
don't know.
minus.
I'm more, I don't know. I was up to, like you say, close to 40. And I said that was just too darn much. And so right now I'm at 28.
Yeah.
I've been, like I say, I revamped my business model, I guess you'd call it, where I'm going into more honey production than I am nuke production. And then next year, if everything goes well with these hives with the new queens and stuff, I'll focus it on the honey production, and then the 12 nukes that I have is more or less going to be for myself. I might sell a few, to some friends. And then I'm gonna key in on some queen rearing. I mean, I've done it the last couple of years because of time sake. I just hadn't had time, or maybe the weather is bad a lot of times. Not so much this year. I think last year was cold and all. So Tom's not going to retire. He's just going until he dies. Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
I do have a bad disease. I got to be doing something physical.
Yeah, but
I'm on my 4th retirement, fellas.
yeah, but Tom from Bee Honey, he's not going to retire. I think it's how.
Yeah, he's lying. He likes
I'm
the
just
water.
not going to be. I'm just not going to be working for the man anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just be working for this man.
Well, you all say that, but really, the public. I had a guy come in here today, right at lunchtime, 12 o'clock, dead on, and that happens every freaking day.
Yep.
And I get so aggravated with that. And I thought he wanted lumber, but he wanted honey. And it's like, well, he came into the house, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, well, I'll be out. I said, I kind of told him how I felt about it, but about coming at lunchtime. I said, yeah, we're in here eating lunch. I said the help wants to stop and eat lunch. I'm hungry, and actually we got in there about 10 minutes sooner than normal because of those issues. And but then I get out there, he was kind of stewing around at that I wasn't going to come out. I'm like, well, yeah, I thought he wanted lumber, and actually he wanted four 1-pound bottles of honey. And I'm like, well, why didn't you say that in the house? We got to go to the house anyway to get, because I only keep 3 1-pounders in my office. I said, we got to go to where I stock it to get that and all. And he got his honey, and I said, well, you should have said honey. And then, we could have helped you out in a minute and a half, because since you were right there at the house. So, and somebody else was out there, and he was getting some mulch and, I don't know. It's same old stuff, day in and day out.
All right.
And all that stuff, it just, the other guy was telling me what he was venting on him a little bit. And he said that hours are not posted and all that. And I'm like, well, common sense tells you when I grew up on 12 o'clock's lunchtime in the store. The only people who work at 12 o'clock are people who work in a restaurant. I don't know. I just, it gets very aggravating after a while.
Yeah.
Like, where you been at all morning? Where you been at all morning? We're here from 8 to 12 and from 1 to 4:30. Why do all, you hear you had a group of 3 or 4 people out there, all 12 o'clock. I'm like, don't you people eat? Don't you go to lunch? It just
12 o'clock and quitting time. That's when they all show up.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And then Fridays, I had this one customer coming in. We had some walnut lumber here that we were processing for him while he had certain things he wanted done. I said, well, then you need to be here and help and tell me what you want to do with these different things. And that's right. That's exactly what it is, Lee. 12 to 12:45 is our lunch hour, basically.
That time. Yep.
And,
yeah.
And all that,
That doesn't work for me. I'm responsible for all of America.
Well, it's kind of like this. 12 to 12:30 is news time. And when you're a farmer and you're making hay, I want to see the radar and the weather and the local weather forecast. And I see, and that goes with bees. I mean, we're farmers, whether, we're a bunch of bug farmers is what we are. And I plant, the weatherman tells me what I'm going to be doing, especially in is it going to rain that evening or whatever, type of thing. And,
I found out this year there, Charlie, I had to work my hives in the rain this year a couple times because
down Tom there,
I couldn't wait.
Yeah, Via Honey's there. He's one of them. He's a Energizer Bunny guy that he's one of them people. Oh, I forgot to eat, and I'm like, my body doesn't let me forget.
Yeah, me too.
I get sick or I don't know, sick or
My
whatever.
problem is I support, Central Time, Mountain Time, West Coast Time. So they call me all through the day.
What's that? What do you do? Set the clocks for them?
No, I
Huh?
do technical support
Of
for the
what?
web.
Computers or something or what?
Yeah, software support for the web. Real technical stuff. HTML programming, MQTT programming, quite a few other ones. Very specific ones.
Well, I guess I'm fortunate. I've had the same boss all my working career. I still got the same one. She's sitting in the other room.
You have to look in the mirror every day, right?
Never worked for another party in my life. So
Yeah. I can't say that.
Hey, Jason. Oh, I don't know. That's just one of my things. Some days we
you just get old and cantankerous, Charlie, just like the rest of us. You just get old and cantankerous.
yeah. When I get hungry, I get mean. I guess I'm like Melissa. We get cranky. It's like it's time to eat. Now leave me alone. And but that's like going away. It's like, and I can see that. I see that in me a lot. Where if it's like if I go to let's say the Honeybee Expo in January. And if I haven't taken off and gone someplace prior to that throughout the summertime, I get to the point where by the time that rolls around, I can't stand my customers and all. But it's like this last thing I just went to where Alabama, it wasn't much on. I really wasn't crazy about going, but then I got to thinking about it. Well, at least it's 5 days away from the mill and the public and all that. So that's just nice.
I think Tom's trying to pawn his wife off on one of us. I think he's trying to get rid of her. I'm going to have a talk with him.
Who's that, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Melissa, we'll go out to lunch. No problem at all. But
if you want her back in just a few hours,
Yeah.
it won't take long.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't take $1 million for the one I got. I wouldn't give a quarter for another one just like her.
Yeah, well, I mean, I ate the Cracker Barrel because it was across the road from the darn hotel. I mean, there wasn't really any options that I knew about. I mean, I'm sure if we scanned the area that you might
Just
find
go one exit over. You got Roosters.
What's Roosters?
It's a bar, chicken place. It's a chain.
Okay.
Kentucky, Ohio. It's in the Ohio Valley area.
Yeah, I mean, I do get burned out with Cracker Barrel. I mean, they're okay, but
I'm lucky. I got 3 cousins that live down there, so I visit them at least one evening.
Y'all going to Nabi this next one?
Yeah, I already got my ticket.
I've
I
got
don't have my
tickets.
hotel yet.
I already got my stuff.
I don't like the date, but
Yeah, me neither.
Why are you a party animal?
am I a party animal? Lord,
Yeah.
I know he is.
I drank sarsaparilla and dance, do the cowbush boogie on the bar every now and then. I get her really loaded up.
But we'll be doing some square dancing with you, Charlie.
Yeah.
I mean, Pete Morris wants to know about the bee problem for turnout. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do I go out to a New Year's Eve party anymore? No.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think it'll be even bigger than last year.
Yeah.
If I pull a fire alarm, it'll be New Year's Eve.
And Brian says we ought to rent a restaurant for the No Life Beekeepers. And that's what I enjoyed. I like Ricky Rourke and
Yeah, that was
everybody. Everybody
good.
here was at that little
Yeah.
Mexican
Friday,
restaurant, I
Friday,
guess it was.
Thursday night,
That was Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday night. It was the night before the show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, that's really why I go to Nabi.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, me too.
like everybody here on the chat, everybody here in the live part of the chat, when we get together and get to see each other in person, that is that's the main goal for me. You
And
know,
I don't think I'm buying any big items this coming year. I have the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I think I'll have to buy my typical 3 to 400 frames.
Yeah. I may go with a pallet this year on frames. I got tired of reordering.
Likewise.
yeah, I just got our club goes and buys honey containers, and whether it be glass or plastic. I use plastic. I just got a case of 1s, 2s, and 3s tonight. Picked them up and all that.
I
So-
sell there's 30 nukes
And a case of lids, 1,700 lids.
lose 150 frames every year. 200 frames selling nukes. So I got to replace them.
Hey, Paul. But yeah, I mean, I like the camaraderie that we have going to that show. And I mean, this past January, I got to meet a lot of folks from the channel here, from all over the United States, and you know, people that I never didn't even think about. You know, people would come up to me and say hi and where they were from and all, and I enjoy all that.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. And like you say, if we can all, you know, a whole group of us here want to try to get together and go out to dinner in the evening, that's great too. And all, but anyway, but yeah, I got, like I say, I already booked the Hilton right there where I stayed. Me and Lee stayed together in the same location, and it's convenient to the place.
They have a shuttle there, Charlie.
Huh?
Did the Hilton have a shuttle?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Lee worked the show with Ricky, and
Yeah.
he said, "Hey, you know," they took him right over there to the show. I drove because I was picking up products and stuff. You know, like I had pre-ordered some Maple Bar, some pollen patties through Cayman, and a bunch of other products and stuff that I didn't want to carry around. And then we also,
Hey, Morgan.
you know, I take a little something in the cooler along as far as food goes, and instead of buying all that high price stuff inside that show, I just went out to the car and grabbed some, you know, some wraps or something that we made up
Right.
and all that stuff.
Hey, Morgan.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you.
Hey, Morgan.
Thank you, Larry. I know Larry, Pastor Larry talked about tasting my honey. I know that I gave a bottle to Joey there, and he said what was it? It was like what you used to have when you were a kid.
Yep.
And all.
That's
I guess
exactly
he didn't
what
have
it
the
was.
tallow. You had the locust down there at the time.
It tasted just like the old honey when I was a kid.
So what's happening up in Morgan?
Oh, just a lot of work. I'm hoping to get some honey extracted this weekend.
So you're all set up to do some extracting?
As set up as I'm going to be, I guess.
Well, I didn't know whether I mean, for me, I always have to take the back porch and I put paper down on the floor, you know, some, what do you call it? Oh, what is that brown paper?
Parchment paper? Parchment paper?
Not parchment.
Like
Wax paper.
like shipping paper.
No, it's the brown paper like they put on brand new sets of stairs in a house or something.
Okay.
Craft paper.
No, it's not
No, no.
crap.
Got dirt floors.
Huh?
I don't know. I got dirt floors.
Uh,
I got my space put out in the shed. I'm gonna
it's
put
not
my,
construction paper. It's
my new frames. I'm gonna put them in a tote and take them into the shed, and then
Construction
I'll put them
paper.
into the, and I'll decap them and put them in and spin it. I got my spinner bolted down right there in the shed.
yeah.
Brian says crime scene paper. Is that what it is? You robbing those bees?
Nah, nah. I'll think of it. But anyway, it's paper that will actually absorb the honey and all. It's got and there's two different. There's a brown, a reddish looking stuff, and then there's sort of the gray looking stuff. You'll find it in the painting department.
Okay.
And
I
used to, huh?
I got concrete floors. I just hosed it down.
Okay, well, um, I just I used to put newspaper down and stuff. What a mess that was. I got this paper over there. Construction guy said, "No, you want to get this paper over there at the Home Depot." And rosin paper. There you go. Judy knows.
Okay.
And anyway, you roll it out, and I get some Gorilla tape, tape it down, and I don't have to worry about And when I get done, I just take and fold it all up and put it in the damn trash bag, and you're done.
Right.
And and then like I say, I put all that down. Sometimes you might have a little bit of spot where it's let's say sticky, where it's a lot of drippage or whatever. I'll put another sheet of it on top of that, and just keep layering it. And then I have a pallet I put my extractor on, bolt it down to that to give it a base. And then I have my scissor lift table that I put my the capping tub on, and bring it up to where I comfortable cutting the comb off and stuff like that. This year I bought that router.
What?
It was it's a rheostat, for us using it for a router to slow the router down or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to use that on my Max Ant capping plane to adjust the heat and all that. That was Doug Longman from Longman Apiaries up in Saskatchewan told me about that. That worked out well. What's the Winkus there? And so, that's what I have to do as far as setting up for the extraction and all that. And then I normally pull just enough that I can do extraction within 3 days.
Right.
That way there's no hive beetle issues or wax moth or any of that larvae type stuff.
Right. I don't think I have to I won't have more that I can do in 3 days.
Charlie, do you put your wets back on, or do you dry them out and store them?
I set them out there on pallets in the yard and let the bees clean them up, and then I put them back in the freezer.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Watch the tornado of bees.
Huh?
Watch the tornado of bees hitting
Yeah,
this
that's right.
spot.
About 30 minutes or so, something like that, and then it's all over with.
Yeah, right
And
now
all
I'm putting mine back on because I'll have stuff still coming on. All my rows of Sharon bushes haven't even started blooming yet, and they tear them things up. So
Yeah, I don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
Paul, he said he went through Sidell. I guess he's going to, what is it? The Nabi sequel? Is that how you pronounce that word?
Yeah, I got tickets. I'm going to run down there. I want to see how those Louisiana coonances operate down there. So I'm bringing my fishing boat, Joey. I'm going on across the south. I got some property over in Georgia. I'm gonna go run crappie fish.
Are you going to drive down there, GW?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Isn't that close to what is it? Biloxi or something like that?
Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too far. It'd be on west of Biloxi. Another better part of 100 mile probably.
Okay.
Joey know more about that than I, but I'd say 100 mile from Biloxi across to Slidell. Joey, what do you think?
What's the biggest
Yeah,
town
it's
in
about
it?
40 minutes.
I go
Isn't
for
it
miles.
close to what? Close to what? New Orleans, I guess.
Yeah, it's just on the north side
Yeah.
of Lake Pontchartrain there, north and a
It's
little east of New Orleans.
it's just a few miles north of New Orleans.
All right.
right
So
across what we
Slidell,
call
all
the
I'd have to do
Sawmill.
is I was halfway there then.
Oh,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Birmingham,
Yeah, it
Probably
takes
for you.
59, and then go down 20 because I was close to. There was that party that was on the south side of Birmingham on US 20 or Interstate 20, and 20
It's about
goes all the
3
way down
hours.
to Meridian and hit 59 again. I guess 20, 59's together, I believe.
Yeah, you're
and
about
it-
3 hours
Yeah.
from it.
What's the date of that show?
last weekend in September, I think, Tom.
Okay, that's what I was thinking then in September. Yeah, see, my wife's working by then. No, I have to pass this year.
Well,
Next year.
They didn't do that during
just
Trump.
quit. That's what I done. I just quit. Resign.
Well, it's not me. I won't be working. My wife will still be working.
Strike for longer hours and lower wages or something crazy, you know.
Just tell her you'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah. That's the thing about taking a vacation. Go, go there and go a little bit farther south.
What's that show called?
Oh, come in via conversion
Yeah.
to something.
I just
Be
think I
alive, maybe be alive.
Be alive. I
Be
think
alive
that's it.
conference, I think.
Yeah.
Be
That's a nice
Alive.
show. And that
Yeah.
couple puts that on as really nice folks too. He was on
Yeah,
the
there it is. I found it. BeAlive.com,
Yeah, that's it, I think.
I think. No, maybe not.
Yeah. Be alive.
There it is.
conference.com.
Lee got it.
Yeah, there you go, Lee. Lee's got it.
27th, 28th. Well, your wife would only have to take off Thursday and Friday.
I did get the last 6 pounds of my cream honey all jarred up finally.
I got a few cases of this pink honey,
Is that
strawberry.
Yeah. Now, did you use actual the dehydrated strawberries for that?
Dehydrated powder
Okay.
strawberries, organic.
Yeah, I haven't tried any of the flavoring stuff yet because technically I
I'm just
think
waiting for the
you're
labels to come in.
not allowed to sell it like that.
Yeah, I'll be selling it. In fact, I should be doing the rest of it tonight. I got the more jars in the other day, but I was watching the bees instead.
Well, you got Bob Benny, you got Randy McCaffrey, you got Earl Hoffman. I don't know him. You got Jeff Brown. I don't know him. You got Seth Hill.
He
You
the
got
boss.
David. Huh?
Jeff Brown's the one running it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he a commercial beekeeper or something or what?
No, I don't think they're
Seth
commercial.
Hill?
Kind of a sideliner, isn't he, Joey?
Yeah, I think he's got around 200 hives, maybe.
And you got Burns for the beginners. Seth Hill. I'm not sure what Seth's going to talk about.
It don't matter. He's always interesting. I find him interesting
Mike
anyway.
Palmer coming. There's pretty good speakers there.
Yeah, the Earl Hoffman's got. He's up in Michigan. Raises queens and do local organic pollination. Most of their time is West Tennessee. They are currently working Milwaukee, Wisconsin company Strong Microbials. Okay, he's with Strong Microbials.
Mhm.
DC said he's a professional hobbyist.
Who's that?
DC.
I'm a
Burns, we
dedicated
know what he is.
jack of all trades.
So I was just looking up, going back
Liz-
to Nabi. Was that not going to be on a weekend this year? Coming up?
I assumed it was.
'Cause it says January 2nd through the 4th, right?
Oh, you talking about Nabi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be a. Let me get back to it again here.
I do hope Nobby has the little, what do you call it?
Okay, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay.
Have what, JW?
Oh, senior moment, the music.
Oh, the bluegrass thing?
Bluegrass, crying out loud. I'd like to see him have a little bluegrass this year again.
Mm.
What?
If I do any purchases at Nabi like I did last year, I may just rent me a truck to drive home. Rent me a box truck or a trailer.
I'll be coming down in my pickup truck. I could always drive back any night if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Then I'd come back down in the morning.
Yeah, I'm
About an hour.
only about 2.5 hours myself.
I'm 2 hours or just under 2 hours.
Oh, so you're pretty much about the same distance I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're down 65, north, I'm across 24.
If I go in the fast lane with all the people that drive 80 on 74, on 75, and I'll be there in no time. 71.
Well, I
Yeah,
just thought for a little bit because I've been missing everything because I either fall asleep and wake up when it's about over, or the other day it started when I was about ready to go to sleep, and so. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here. Y'all take it easy and have a good rest of your weekend.
all right, Morgan.
All
Good
right.
night,
All
Marty.
right, you too.
Bye.
See you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Well, I don't think Cayman has any choice when it comes to the second to start a conference or whatever. It depends on what the opening slot is. When it comes to big conference halls like that, they're booked up a year to a year and a half in advance.
No, that's true.
Yeah, and he's also trying to avoid that other conference, American Beekeepers.
American Bee Federation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the following weekend.
Yeah, 'cause he wanted to have,
Yeah, the ABF actually changed their date and all that stuff. And really, the best person to ask for that is Brian from Flower Street. He went to that this year. He drove from Nabi down to that and visited with
Right.
Lee and everybody. And um, uh, I don't know, he wasn't impressed at all. It's kind of geared for commercial, I think.
One of the
And
big
then there's some subset conferences going on that they don't advertise, like the bee inspectors. Like my local bee inspector flew in for that, and that was an area. Then there's the science folks. They're kind of in on their own little shindig there. And as far as when you compare, let's say the trade show, nobody has hold the candle to what Nabi
No.
has, because like Cowan, it normally goes to ABF. They said, we're not coming. We're going up here to Nabi. So, far as all these other shows and whatever,
Probably my biggest local beekeeper. He's a commercial guy, Charlie Linder. I don't know if y'all have heard of him. He's a big wig in that ABF. He's
what's his name?
Charlie Linder, Charles Linder. He
Charles,
runs about 5 or
yeah.
6,000 hives, mostly
Wasn't he
pollinated.
the guy that was on
He was on the Cayman here a while back, and he was on.
Cayman show there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's strictly commercial. Retired engineer from Case New Holland, combine man.
What about a combine?
He used to be an engineer for Case New Holland in their combine
really?
type machinery. Retired from them. I got about 5 or 6,000 highs, so I'm told. He's not too. He's only probably 30 miles from me. You see his hives sitting around all over the country local, but he does the almonds and he does the cranberries in Wisconsin and he does the melons and in the Ohio Valley or Big Wabash Valley and sand areas for all the different, primarily watermelons, muskmelons.
yeah, with 5 to 6K hives, he's got hives everywhere.
Yeah. All through the countryside out here, while you'll see 20 or 30 hives sitting next to a bean field or clover field or a canola field or something.
Yeah. I got a friend, beekeeper, that I work with up in northern Ohio, and he runs about 4,000 hives. I don't know how he does it.
I don't think about 80,000, like that family up there in the Dakotas.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole company. I wonder how many employees they have.
Yeah. Over 200, I'm told.
Okay, I bet.
Mm. Dang. I don't know. It's an interesting world. The honeybees, they get a hold of you, and you meet a lot of interesting people, and I really enjoy it. So
Yeah. Well, my friend John, I know he ships them all over the United States, and then by the end of the season, they're all down in Florida.
yeah,
And he ever winters in Florida till January, and then plays the whole game over again.
depends on different stroke for different folks. I wouldn't want that many if I could, and I certainly can't. But I wouldn't want that many if I could.
Maybe if I was 20 again, but not now.
They say from my house down to Slidell, it's 16 and a half hours. It was 1,121 miles.
That'd be awful close, I'd guess, Charlie.
And that's what the map says. But
Mhm.
I can tell you right now, course, we did stop, and you got to take breaks and stuff. And we stopped overnight at Knoxville, and then we were basically just north of Birmingham the next day. Of course, we did stop in Chattanooga for several hours. You probably could make it if you pushed hard. You could probably make it in 2 days comfortably, something like that. It was just kind of interesting that I've been in Birmingham, and I'm like, I'm not that not that far.
Yeah, it's a pretty good jump from Birmingham on down to Mobile in that area, the south end. You got another 250, 300 miles. 59 goes right down to Slidell, I think, Charlie, once you get on
It does. That's why I was out. That's why it was quite interesting, because as I had just been to Birmingham, it says it's 4 hours and 4.5 hours, 300 and
Yeah.
it says 314 miles. Well, I look at it that 246. That's 6-hour trip.
Yeah.
2 hours per 100 miles is what it always seems to work out at. At least that's my estimate.
Yeah, I'll drive a little harder than that, but that's,
So, I mean, 70, 75 miles an hour, but
Yeah. That's like me and Louis Nabi. I think it's like 95 miles, 99 miles,
2 hours
2 hours.
and
If I
all
push
that.
it, I can go a little bit faster. But 75 and 71 is a pretty busy expressways.
yeah.
And all that.
We got early 4th of July going on behind my house back here. The kids on back behind me there. I can hear the fireworks going off.
I think every time, JW, when I drive down through 59, there's always a major wreck.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the other road that runs parallel to that. It's a highway versus an expressway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think. the name of it.
59 angles down to the southwest across Alabama. 65 goes straight south out of Nashville down through Birmingham and then Montgomery and on down
That's
to
what it
Dover.
was. Yeah, I've taken 55 a couple times just because 59's no good.
Yeah.
55 ain't no better.
Yeah, no.
55.
55 or 85.
55.
85 for way east to where we're talking about. 65.
Well, I found it from about Chattanooga down through Route 59. That was not a very good road. I mean, it was crappy. It was a crappy road.
Yeah.
Even though it was interstate, it had a lot. I won't say potholes in it, but it was just rough. They were trying to. The right hand side of the roadway was just rough as get out, and the fast lane, as I call it, was a lot smoother. But
Yeah.
No, these trucks have got all these interstates beat the thunder. They're all rough anymore, Charlie. These interstates.
You get up around Virginia, and 81 ain't so bad.
Yeah. You're out there where all them high rollers got all that money. We're out here in the sticks.
Well, that was the problem I found with going down to Birmingham. The time you got down there, you're in the sticks. Well, I don't think I'll be going, but anyway, it was just interesting to see how actually I was on the way to Slidell in that area.
Any tips on checking honey with a refractometer line is sharp sometimes and fuzzy other times? We get one same result. Honey temperature maybe too much.
Yeah, Paul, I know they're Cracker Barrels. I've seen them, but I'll tell you, once you get out of Chattanooga and you get down 59, um, into towards Birmingham, there's a stretch on that 59. There was just nothing but trees. I mean, just nothing. Finally, you got a few places that showed stuff. Well, I hope you do too, Matt. As far as getting in your hives, hope you find more mated queens and all that. But yeah, Cracker Barrel's all right. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
Cracker
I'm not
Barrel.
touching.
Cracker Barrel eats up a lot of time
Yeah.
when you're
Yep.
traveling.
Yep, that's right.
This is my quiet time at the hives. I'm just waiting for me to pull them. Just let them sit there. All the supers are on. I'm not adding more. I'm not taking any off until I got to pull them all off.
Well, it's like this weekend. I got a bale hay, and I was trying to get through them just to kind of do a peek, and so I pretty much got all that done. And
What's your baling job, Charlie? Are you the tedder? Are you the mower? Are you the raker? Or what do you do?
no, my son. Well, I used to do all that, and now
Yeah.
my son's taken the farm over the last 3 years, and so I'm more so the baler man anymore because he's the guy that's gonna. Tomorrow, I think I got to round bale my neighbors that he's always helped us over the years, and we've continued with that.
Sure.
And so he's got a lot of junk hay as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So
You
he
got
said it was
five
dry. It was kind of dry today, he said, when he tedded it out. And so I'll go out there tomorrow afternoon after I close the mill up and round bale it up by myself because he had to go to some kind of a wedding. And then Sunday, we got the fields that's right behind my hives there and stuff. It's probably got 1,200-1,500 square bales on it.
Yeah.
I'll be baling square bales. He's got all that stuff lined up. He's got 10 hay wagons right now, so we can do 1,200 squares on a wagon.
Yeah. Well, you do get kids to stack the wagons for you right behind the baler.
No, I don't want anybody in that wagon.
Just drop them on the ground.
I shoot them in there and that's it. There's too you can't find kids to do anything, JW.
No.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
That was one of my
Trying to
main,
find help load.
yeah.
It's like my son. We're looking at, we're trying to mechanize it. Right now we can't afford anything, or he can't afford anything as far as like a bale baron.
Yeah.
Which
What's your rounds? 4x5, 5x6s? What that round baler?
They're 4 foot wide, but it can go up to. I can set mine up to 5 foot tall, but
Yeah.
we sell it to these horse girls, and it's like, he was going to go 50 some inches, and then the next year it was down some to 40. I don't know what it is. I told him, I said, look, you got to be like Mr. Hershey. You got to keep that bale small so they can roll it around because they ain't got no tractor. And you keep your price down a little bit better. I don't know what he's running. I think it's a 4x4 bale right now. Is the land around me flat? Well, it's not like Ohio where it's just table flat. It's more gentle rolling hills.
Wait a second, Charlie. Most of Ohio is forest and very hilly.
Well, I went out towards Columbus, and that ground out there was absolutely just tabletop flat.
Yeah, Columbus and west and north, up in that corner, is. You go where I am, and you won't find a piece of flat area that's 30 feet by 30 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
And
My hill goes down 250 feet from the top of the hill down to the creek.
ours is, one farm might be hilly around here, and the rest of them are, really relatively flat. We'd like to buy a bale baron, which takes and bundleizes 21 square bales in a cube.
Yeah.
If you draw
But
a
that's
line,
$140,000 to, what would you call it?
Yep.
Package your hay for you.
if you draw a line from Dayton to Columbus up to Cleveland, and you go west and north, it's flat. But if you go the other direction, it's just the opposite.
There's the birthday boy checking in.
Oh yeah, he is. He's done with his birthday party.
I've got you anywhere from 47 to 93, Bob. We're guessing.
There's Mr. Bob. There's the
We
birthday
got a
boy right
lotto
there.
going.
Wait a minute, I said he was 3 or 4.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4. We got 3 to 93.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, one person said Bob's 93, and somebody said he was 51 and 54 and all that. But anyway, it's like I say, I'm still helping. It's like this last weekend, he's 54. I was away, but I had bailed some one field prior, and then he bailed, square bailed and round bailed. And he had some problems and got the one round baler fixed, but that's the problem with the round baler. It's computerized. And you got those actuators, which is like, it looks like a hydraulic cylinder, but actually there's a screw, an Acme screw inside there. It's got an electric solenoid motor on there, and it does net wrap, and it broke on him. So he got it done, got things taken care of. But he said, yeah, he says, I need 3 of me, because as far as, knowing what to do. And I said, yeah. I said, that's the problem. You got to get it to the point where you got to be as much mechanized as possible.
Up till 4 years ago, Charlie, I ran about 6,000, then 4 to 5 rounds a year on about 14 to 1,500 squares.
Is that right? On the cattle business, the rounds is the way to go.
Beef cattle.
What kind of round baler did you have? A New Holland?
John Deere. And I'm not saying they're the best. I had John Deere because I had all John Deere equipment. New Holland makes a good product.
Well, it's like we bought this new used tractor, and it's New Holland, and green paint costs more and all that stuff. And we've always been, we were Alice Chalmers when I was growing up.
Yeah, I started with Alice's years ago.
And then, so I do have a John Deere here, and I have these New Hollands we bought. So this new one we got, it's the one we've had for quite a few years is 115 horsepower. And this new one, it'll go up to 165. And it really does, it doesn't have a loader on it, but it sure does. You can tell it's got power. I mean, it'll go up over a hill on the roadway. You can put anything behind it, what we use, like a disc bind or whatever, and just go with it,
Yeah, these front wheel assist tractors makes a big difference too, especially if you're in hill country. They almost double the pulling capacity of a tractor. It's almost.
Yeah, well, this was 4-wheel drive, or 4-wheel drive, cab, whole 9 yards, and all.
Been there.
But anyway, like I say, he had big ideas about farming, all these hundreds and hundreds of acres. So where are you going to put it at? Where are you going to get the help at? How are you going to get it all done yourself? I said, I said, I wanted to, quote, retire from the hay business. I think he's kind of learning all that. He started out with big round bales. I said, you don't want to do that. I said, these people don't have the capabilities of moving that round bale. And then each year he kept knocking it down a couple inches, as far as the height.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the birthday boy himself.
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much.
Yeah, we just went out to dinner, and then the kids got me a couple little trinkets, and just having a good day.
Where'd you go for dinner?
Went to one of those Japanese restaurants where they cook at the table.
Oh, okay.
And first time my son-in-law had been to one. Of course, first time my grandson had been to one. So
You sit them right in front of him, huh?
yeah. It scared him when they lit that big fire like they do at the middle of the table. He was like, the little boy stuck his head, sat back and was hanging out. But we yesterday I pulled some honey and spun it out and slowly getting it off of there. But I was looking at my spreadsheet from last year, and I was still pulling honey off the colonies in August. Right? August, no, July, 8th month. No, that's August. So I just kind of trickle it off of there, you know.
Yeah.
This is what this one looked like.
That's some good looking honey.
I tell you what, that method that Brad said to do, it was 90 degrees outside yesterday, which means there's about 1,000 degrees inside the honey house. And that honey just came out just as fast out of the extractor as you could see. You know, it was just coming out really thin. And just pumped it straight into a 5-gallon bucket. I mean, didn't pull the wax and all that, just let it go. And let it sit there 20, 30 minutes. It floated right on up to the top. And then I just took another 5-gallon pail and started pouring it through the strainer. And it went through so quick that I took that off and just, I was doing the old man 2.5 gallons at a time. So I didn't have to lift 5 gallons over my head to pour it in.
Yeah.
But I put, I don't know, about probably 13, 14 gallons yesterday and bottled it up and had to have my stuff for my show this weekend. So, it looks good. I mean, that's just through this one of them double strainers. I mean, it's clear as could be. So I was real happy with that process. So yeah, and it's amazing. And I apologize if I didn't get back to everybody today. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, but I had over 200 people send me notifications on Facebook. So I learned my lesson to just let them all go through and then post one thank you for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I'd be spending all day just thank you. Tom sent me a message through Messenger, and I told him thank you. And
Yeah, you did. That was pretty early in the morning, though. I think 9 o'clock.
I'm gonna tell you. All right, so I'm not a early riser all the time, right? But I had a lady tell me that she works near here, and she wanted to come over this morning and get honey. She said, "Is 8:30 too early?" Nope. As long as I know you're coming, I'll make sure I'm up and got everything ready for you, right? Well, I get up and check my phone at 7:04. She sent me a message. Are you at home? Well, where the heck would I be at 7 o'clock in the morning? I mean, she didn't end up coming. I said, "Yeah, I'm home," and she didn't end up showing up over here. So that's whatever. That's why I don't wait on people mostly, because they'll tell you they're coming, then they don't, or they'll just show up.
I use the hop spider to drain my extractor, and that works really, really, really fast too.
The what?
It's called a hop spider. It's for hops, for brewing beer.
It's a brewing bag.
It's a long tube, and the honey just flows right out the sides of it.
We've talked about that, Bob. It's that long cylinder screen.
Yeah.
Where it goes down in the bucket and it keeps filling up with the honey coming into it, where it doesn't choke it up.
I got you.
Right.
That's actually not a bad idea. You could probably take some real fine, just chicken or real fine mesh metal cloth and put it around 2 wooden wheels, right? Sand them up, make them nice. just make a long tube with a hole in the top of it and let the honey roll down the tube, and it's going to let everything out, right? Like a big, it's not going to be as fine, but it'll catch all those big chunks that plug up your doggone deal there.
And then about the third or fourth bucket it fills up, I just take it. It does eventually fill up like on the third or fourth bucket. And I just take it and dump it into the capping tank, put it right back on.
It's not a bad idea.
How fine is that thing, Tom?
You can get 300 and 400 micron.
Well, so that's what 400 is. What?
So is it, what is a paint strainer? What is the micron on a paint strainer? 200 micron. There you go. They look dirty. The bag looks dirty, but these are 200 micron. But they kind of make a mess, right? When you pull them out, they're all sopping. But if there was a way just to put this in a tube, right, where the honey's just going through it and automatically draining, that wouldn't be bad. Not bad at all. But I still should have plenty out there. I just, when it's 90 degrees, by the time I get 6 or 7 boxes pulled, I'm ready to go in already. By the time I've gone through them like that, you know, without no hive lifters and stuff like that. These are my hive lifters.
On my out yard, I checked my purple hive, which I stole 13 frames of brood from this year, and it still made a deep and a super medium full of honey. It's like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had that queen actually. They even queened that hive. It was a 3.5-year-old queen, and they got rid of her.
My wife sent me a message. She's right in the other room.
I get that a lot, Bob.
She sent me a reel. That's obviously something she found funny, which most of the time I've either already seen it or I don't find it that funny. Yeah. But yeah, it was a pretty good day today. Can't complain. I'm just trying to figure out. I was looking for labels, and it appears for this kind of mason jar that's got, you know, the little raised bars on both sides like that. I need a label that's no more than 3 inches wide by no more than about 2.5 inches tall. So either a 2x3 or a 2.5x3. But guess what? Can't find them. They're all 2x4, or you'll find something like a 2x3, but it's clear, a clear label, so you can't print on it. So I've been looking for those. So trying to get some of that stuff taken care of.
You can't find just a regular smooth mayonnaise jar?
I haven't, well, probably could if I looked hard enough, but my Walmart doesn't seem to carry them.
Yeah, I don't get any containers from Walmart.
Ollie's, believe it or not, had, and I didn't pay attention if they were smooth or mostly smooth, but they had the ones made by Pure, P-U-R, and they had pint jars for like $8.99 or something like that. $9 for 12. That's a pretty good price. That's cheaper than anywhere else I've seen.
Yeah.
Avoid the 200. Too small for pollen to pass. I usually get little bits of pollen in mine. Not
fertilized quicker.
Yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, I can see little bits floating around in there.
I use 300 or 400 micron. I think
I bought 50 of them paint strainers. I was overzealous when I bought them things.
Yeah.
I was optimistic on my honey flow. But so far, I've pulled almost as much in 2 pulls this year as I made all year last year. So we'll see how it ends up. But right now I've looks like I pulled about 230 frames last year. And so far I've pulled I don't know. That's 108 and 43. So 152.
I like Texas beekeepers trainer.
Yeah, I should notice that too, Joe.
I always use a chain link fence.
Yeah. That's the best way. It won't clog up.
Oh, nice. Spanky made a sale of honey today. I didn't sell any honey today. Yesterday, someone came and bought $10 worth or something. But I jarred up, and I still have got honey in my tank in there. I think I jarred 48 pints, 10 quarts, and 30-something 1-pounders in addition to what I already had. So I'm going to load up the truck this weekend and see if I can sell a bunch at this car show. I doubt it. I'm optimistic at that too. I'll probably all I'm going to end up doing is moving that crap inside and out a couple of times. But
You might be surprised, Bob.
well, it was $30 for the vendor fee, and I felt like, well, I could probably sell at least $30 worth of honey if I'm out there. So worst case, I broke even. But what I did is I went ahead and made a post on Facebook for my friends that live out that way that don't ever drive over this way that, hey, on Sunday, my table will be over here. Come and get it. So we'll see if that works or not.
You're going to try to do that craft event or something in the town there, Columbia or whatever it is?
It is a car show that they're having in the town of Lexington, which is the next, well, it's on the other side of the town from me, but it's at a Wings and Ale. So it's like a, wings and beer pub type of place. And so they're going to have normal traffic going through there, and they're going to have the car show. So, and then we'll be over there somewhere on that side. But for $30, I'll give it a shot. And my son-in-law is going to be in the car show, so while he ain't doing anything, probably just hang out at my booth or something. And then, see what's going on over there.
What kind of car does he have?
A very expensive BMW M5 competition series, I think. It's a 2023 model, I think, but it's kind of a crazy car. I looked at it, and of course I was sitting in it, and I Googled it when he told me what it was, and Carvana had it for like $88,000, and I was like, I hope you didn't pay $88,000 for this car. He's like, oh no, I didn't pay that much for it. So, but he was in Germany, so he bought a BMW in Germany. It's kind of like buying a Lincoln or something here in the States, but it's got this. I don't know if I can share it. I've got a photo of just the speedometer and everything, and let me see if I can find it. Oh, I actually already had it up. Let me see. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it when I hold it up, but I mean, whoops, now it went blurry. But you see the map, how big the map is on that thing? It's like one big panel that runs all the way across, and the tack and speedometer and everything are on that side, and this side is like just a giant map. So it's the It's one of them crazy sports cars. But it's too rich for my blood. But I hope he wins. Hope he wins something with it.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, Todd.
And Brian, I got your Appy tablets in the mail today, sir. Which I think you answered to me on my text earlier. Yeah. Well, he just got notification that he's getting promoted. Well, technically he's not promoted yet, but he got accepted to warrant officer school in the Army. So he's going from enlisted to warrant officer. So it's should be a big promotion for him.
Well, warrant officer that's an enlisted officer or something like that in it.
It's kind of weird because if warrant officer falls in between enlisted and like an officer, right? So he outranks enlisted, but he doesn't really outrank the officers. But
More because of experience in it.
yeah,
You
so
know.
a warrant officer is more of like a specialty type of field, right? So it's like he's in IT, intelligence and IT type of deal. So he's like an officer that's like a technical type position, right? Like they do it a lot for helicopter pilots and stuff like that are enlisted to go to flight school. But yeah, so he's sitting pretty. He's only been in the military 5 years, going on 6 years, and he got promoted to E6 and then tried to go to warrant officer school, and they gave him acceptance actually while he was here. We were standing in Costco when he got the email saying that he was accepted for warrant officer school. So it's pretty good. I told him
The thing about warrant officers in the military, they don't really have to answer too much to anybody. You know,
Right.
they don't.
Right.
They're kind of out there on their own.
that's it. So
Nobody
usually
bothers you.
they've got more skills about what they're doing than the officers do.
Yeah.
Right. And they outrank the enlisted guys. So it's good to go. Hey,
Brad.
Brad.
Evening, everyone.
You went to my favorite person in Manitoba besides you today?
I didn't. I rescheduled that. My day just filled up, so I didn't get to do that.
Well, you just have to save
So
it till
Ian
next
is your
time I'm up there.
favorite
Huh?
So Ian is your favorite person in Manitoba besides me.
No, I actually didn't even. He comes in third right after her.
After Carrie.
No, I'm talking about
the-
the lady with the cut comb.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you kind of take a liking to my customer.
Yep,
Yeah, she's real nice.
I'd be her delivery boy. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
she's a really nice lady too. She's a
is.
very pretty woman, but she's a really nice lady. Very nice customer. Exactly the kind of customer you want. You know, very easy to deal with and regular customer. And boy, she does nice work. She does fill everybody else in. She has a shop. She does this charcuterie stuff, and this is just food art, is what this is. It's just amazing the work that these people do, and she's one of the best as far as I'm concerned. So I think she kind of started this over COVID. She was working in the medical field, and it just grew and grew. She did so well that she opened her own shop and quit the medical job and now runs her own business. So she's done really well. She's worked really hard at it.
She buys this cut comb.
Yeah, she buys comb honey to put on the charcuterie. Yeah. There's not a lot
How
of
about a
people
little
that produce.
update, Brad, on
honey.
your bee yard?
My bee yard,
How's
sure.
it coming?
Well,
How's your rebuilding
This is
coming?
spoiler alert though for everybody because this is coming out in the morning in the vlog. But yeah, I'll update you. No problem. Okay, let's see. On Wednesday, I went out and picked up those 50, I call them loner nukes. I was given these nukes and just with the understanding that I'll replace them in subsequent years. So I picked those up. I dropped those directly at my out yards. So now my out yards are stocked. And I was offered 2 nukes from a gentleman I know, just a super great guy. And he just messaged me the other day. He says, "You're around this way next time." He says, "Stop by. There's a couple nukes here for you." So I put those at the out yard as well. It's been raining so much that I'm behind on transferring all these nukes into larger equipment, even the ones I made with the mated queens earlier on. I'm not pointing at these, but previously. So tomorrow, hopefully we get enough sunshine that I can actually get busy and start doing that. I hope I'm not too late on these. So that's the bee yard. The bee yard is actually looking really good right now.
That's great. Good luck to you.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody who's helped. This has all come together from everybody here and everybody else in my life. Right, that's very humbling, very, very humbling. So thank you, everybody.
So you gonna go from 5 or 6 frame over into 10 frame is what you're trying to get done?
Yeah.
In between
Yeah.
rain?
Yeah, everything will go into 10s. I spent quite a few hours yesterday after I got back from picking up those 2 nukes, which, was an hour and a half each way. So took quite a chunk out of my day. So then I worked a number of hours getting boxes and appropriate frames. We've got some feed frames, some open comb frames, all ready to transfer the nukes into. So that equipment is now ready, which I'm very happy about. So I can just put that in the truck, take it to the out yard, and get to work. So fortunately, I was able to take my 2-way pallets to the out yards, so set them all out the way I want, and then when I brought the nukes in, I just set the nukes right on the pallets all the way down the line. So now when I go, I can just lift. They're all in jester boxes. I'll just take the jester box off, put a wooden brood chamber on there, and start filling it with frames and transfer the bees over to it. It should go fairly fast. But it's kind of work. It's kind of hard on the back. You're bent over a lot. So. So I should get a crop this year. Thanks to everybody.
Well, your one hive will probably outdo my whole season.
Well,
I sent him a text. So I sent him a message at this, and I said I pulled 30 deeps and 30 mediums. He says, "Stupers?" I said, "No, frames."
I said, "Boxes or frames?" I said, he said, "No, frames." I'm sorry, I had to ask. Because the first time you said that, I thought it was boxes, and I thought, wow, that's a day. Like that's a lot of honey, but it was frames.
Yeah, I pulled it, adjusted my uncapper, which made a big difference, and then spun it out, right? So I don't let it sit because there's always hive beetles hiding in that comb. And I don't want to come out in 2 days and have a bunch of beetle larvae in all my honey. So we go ahead and knock that right out. Huh?
It's fast, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Fast,
really
isn't it?
fast.
They do that. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, that's a big conversation around in Canada right now because there's a lot of consideration of how afraid should we be of these hive beetles, and so there's a lot of people relating their experiences with them.
I think if you don't have them now, you probably aren't going to ever have them, or at least if you do get them one year, you wouldn't have them next year. I mean, they'd freeze out over the winter. It'd be even in your building head.
Well, they
wouldn't
do
make
overwinter in the building. That's been shown, but I think you're right. The
ground is
because
too hot,
people-
hard.
the beekeepers in the northern states, even, it's not such a big deal there, is it?
No, which is
They're
funny.
there,
because
but
they're the
not-
ones that are usually singing on YouTube on how to treat hive beetles, and they don't usually have them. I mean, if they do, what they
Yeah.
consider having hive beetles and what me and Joey think about having hive beetles, two totally different ideas there, right? If I open up a colony and I
Right.
see 3 or 4 hive beetles, I'm like, nah, we're good. Close it back up.
Yeah.
But when you open it and there's 200 or 300 running around, then it's a
Yeah.
problem.
So I mean, Tom, you're a little farther north, right? So hive beetles not such a big deal.
You're muted, Tom.
Muted, Tom.
I'm mute.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
There we
might
go.
see I might see 5 or 6 the whole year.
Oh yeah. So
I
not
think
such.
this
So
year I've
what's your
seen about
what's
that
your
many.
soil like, Tom? What's
I
your
saw
soil
12
like?
today.
It's clay, rock, clay.
Yeah.
Where's the rock?
So we're black gumbo clay here.
Yeah.
Brad, I went through 22 hives today, and did not see one hive beetle. I'm not saying I don't have
Yeah.
any, because I do have in the hive or two. but
Right.
I went through 22
But
today.
so do you do any treatments? Do you do anything major to keep them
No.
down, or is
No.
they just don't build?
If I
They
see
just-
3 or 4 in the hive, I'll stick a beetle gel, in there and put a little
Yeah.
oil in it, and that pretty well takes care of it. But I went through 22 today myself, and I never seen the first hive beetle, which I was surprised, but I did not see a one.
I saw one
Well,
today.
that's comforting a little bit,
The majority of mine don't have them. Only the few that I haven't put appy tablets on yet. Those are the only ones that
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen.
something, isn't it? That's
seen
really
beetles
seems to
in.
have an effect.
Hey,
So-
Bob, what's your website?
Who's mine?
Yeah.
Oh, it's bewares.co.
Yeah, I went that yesterday and I couldn't find it.
Or if some people's computers, for some reason, that gives them a headache, it's bewares.bigcartel.com. But the bewares.co is a redirect, which is easier to remember. Except everybody wants to do .com. But yeah, the tablets seem to do really good on them. It's kind of amazing. But I honestly, before I really want to say that, I want to see it over a longer period of time. Because 2 years ago, I didn't have that many hive beetles when I was doing the peppermint all the time. Last year, I didn't do the peppermint. I got blasted. This year, just did appy tablets. Not so bad. So, again, I'm striving for less treatment, not no treatment, and until the bees tell me no treatment is good. But right now, just as minimum that I can do to them.
Plenty of sunshine helps too.
Yeah, they do have peppermint. Yeah, and that's the other thing. The other ones are on that side where the tree kind of hangs over them a little bit, so they get their sun a little bit later in the day, which that's part of it.
I've got all my hives in full sun, and it's not the most pleasant experience when she's about 102 in the shade. But
Yeah, that's the same thing. You go out there and then your bees are all outside of the colony instead of working in the colony. They're all chilling on the front trying to stay cool.
Yeah.
And Charlie says he just puts a penny or something or nickel under the corners to keep his lid up. But if I do that, I'm just inviting more hive beetles in.
Yeah.
Or somebody
So-
come steal your pennies.
Yeah, I'll probably
Yeah,
knock
I got little wooden blocks.
little wooden blocks.
Yeah, I just cut about a
That
60
costs more than a
inch.
penny, Charlie.
Huh?
That's 20 pennies.
yeah. That's more than a penny's worth of lumber.
He gets that much out of his scrap pile, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're about 5/8 thick. They jack it lit up just a hair.
See, you should get you a press and take all that sawdust and press it into those blocks that they use to start firewood, those fire logs.
Mhm. There's a guy not too far from me. He's got one of them presses, and he does all his sawdust because he's got a cabinetry shop, and then he makes them briquettes, and he throws them in his wood boiler that heats the place
When
during the
you
winter.
do enough hardwoods and stuff, you could almost make the little pellet smoker fuel.
I
Yeah,
would do it for smoker fuel. Yeah.
you got to have dry lumber for that.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
don't
got a
have- I
whole
don't have
damn
hardwood
building that's
sawdust.
drying it down there.
Yeah, well, you got to have the dry sawdust. There's Brad, Cajun Hive.
So my new out yard, you'll see tomorrow on the video, just a little snippet of it.
See,
It's an old yard site. It's really nice, sheltered.
I went on Bob's site today looking to buy a collector's edition Sawmill Charlie top bar hive, but it was sold out. So I got some Nappy tablets instead.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. Okay. There we go. Oh, you're stuck. There we go.
Let's see. I find that they'll destroy a small colony if you have extra drawn comb in there. If you just have foundation and they only have enough comb for whatever they can cover, Bootsy in the microphone.
Oh, can you hear that?
Yeah.
His big buzz.
And as long as they can protect whatever comb they have, they're good to go. Let's see. It's a shame Brad doesn't like cats. That's what Mike's.
No.
I can't believe you, bees. That was funny.
Well,
Yeah.
he gets all the attention he wants. He's such an old fella, and his health isn't very good. So we got to enjoy every minute with him that I can enjoy. And he's such a sweet soul, aren't you? Yes, you are.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself tonight.
Yeah. He's been really enjoying the nice weather. It's been sunny the last couple of days, and he loves to lay on his deck in the sun.
That's what I need is
to do that. Yeah.
Looking at it, all the stuff going by here. I don't think I'm ever going to have arthritis. I don't, with all these stings I get.
Don't hold your breath on that, Bob.
Well, it's amazing that even through beekeeping gloves, they will still get you. I don't know how. I mean, their stingers can't be that long, but they're long enough to go through gloves. As you can tell by my wrist right there, it's when it gets crinkled up, right, like right at the wrist right there, when the cloth gets crinkled up in between my jacket and that leather, they can find that spot like crazy, and they just tear my wrist up.
You're such a tender soul.
Well, they were kind of not happy I was stealing all of their honey from them yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm trying to slowly shake them, like take a box off, shake them down, remove a box. It's just slowly compressing them in, right? So we'll see. Shane's asking about your bear fence there.
Yeah, that's a good question. The corners, I say the corners do need to be more substantial. I have guy wires on. When I built my new apiary, I just put T-posts in the corners and put guy wires to some. I can't even use my hand here. He won't let me. Put some rebar down at an angle and then tied the guy wire to it and went up to the T-post. And that seems to have worked really well. On the old apiary, I actually put wooden posts in the corners and made a proper, fence corner. And that's so that I can tension the wire. If you can tension the wire, then you don't need a lot of heavy duty posts. Just the plastic step-in posts will do, because it's not like a barbed wire where cattle is going to be pushing on it. Nobody pushes on that unless they're trying to go through it. When a bear sniffs at it, they're going to get a shock before they even touch it, really.
Yeah.
So you just need the plastic ones that hold it up. Now, a number of those have broken because I've had, if you have an animal that does challenge the fence, then they're going to break some of those little clips and things off. It doesn't seem to have been a really big problem, though.
Well, I wish I was closer, Brad. I've got thousands of fiberglass, 1-inch fiberglass posts since I had all the cattle and did a lot of rotating grazing. I've literally got thousands of them, and you don't need insulators or anything for them,
Yeah.
You certainly be
They'd
welcome
be similar then to this kind of thing that I'm using.
Yeah.
Right? Is it about that kind of thing?
They're
They're pretty nice.
Fiberglass posts, you just drive them in the ground, I sure wish I was closer, because you'd certainly be welcome to them.
Could I ever? Because I might have to fence my 2 outyards too. So I'm gonna have to buy a bunch of that stuff, and that's some expense. Probably gonna cost me $1,000 to fence an outyard.
Well, I don't
Thank
know.
you for your order, Tom and Brent Ferguson. Both just ordered something from the website.
Maybe it's worth me to drive down and have a visit.
You'd be very welcome to them. I can load you up with a bunch of them. I'm telling you, because they'll just go. They get some age on them. There's a little fiber. You got to wear gloves to have them, unless you can paint them and refurbish them.
Right. Yeah.
When they get out in the sun after a few years, why? But other than that, they'll last for 10 lifetimes.
Somebody asked, I think in the last live we did, somebody said, hey, you should do a video on how you put your fence together. And I'll do that sometime, because I know there's a lot of interest in that. And I won't do it from a standpoint of I know exactly what I'm doing and, this is what you should do. I'll just show you what I did and you can take it from there.
Mike Berry way, huh?
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. The how I do video.
Yeah.
There you go. How I do electric fence.
It's not a DIY, it's an HID.
Charlie, you gonna work tomorrow?
It's VSH. Isn't it VSH? Isn't that what it is, Charlie? VSH?
VSH.
Yeah, that's right. VSH.
It's VHS.
Yep. So,
Beta Queens.
anybody else you want to announce that
Do it.
your offer today?
Oh yeah. So when was it? Last week. I said that it was that I was giving a free shipping until midnight tonight on the website. Since it's my birthday, I figured I'd give you guys free shipping, and today's the last day. So got an hour and 29 minutes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So there's the checkout code BDay24.
Make sure you use the code, because I don't have a way to go back and change all that stuff around on my my simple website to do a bunch of crazy stuff. So
Bob has a birthday and we get the presents. We get the gifts.
that's it. You know what? My daughter gave me this little mystery ball thing. I mean, never seen it before. It's this little plastic mystery ball that has, you take the top off and it has 5 pieces like an orange, right? And each slice you take a piece of plastic off and there's a little toy in there. Why she got it for me? Don't know. But it had like this ultra rare piece in it. So now I got to see if it's worth anything. So
Interesting.
yeah, it was kind of an interesting little gift. So now I've got all these little tiny miniature, well, it's a Buzz Lightyear. So it was either Disney, Marvel, or Star Wars. And I ended up getting the Disney stuff. So.
Well, all right, guys, we've been going for 2.5 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and call it tonight. And I got to
All
get
right.
run the show tomorrow by myself. So, so until next Friday, we'll see you here around 8 o'clock next Friday. Talk
Night,
to you.
everyone.
Good night, everybody. Say good night, Bootsy.
Night, Bob. Happy birthday again.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you, brother.